I don't think anyone saw the trouble that was about to hit the Ric McIver campaign for the provincial PC leadership this weekend. Miriam, can you kind of recap what unfolded for us?
Sure. So there is a Calgary-based organization. They call themselves the March for Jesus, and they host an annual March for Jesus in Calgary. It's a Christian organization, but the website associated with it has some very blatantly homophobic and offensive comments on it. Ric McIver opened this year's March for Jesus parade and tweeted out some pictures of his involvement in it, and turns out he's been involved in it for the past 4 years. And so people found out about some of these homophobic comments that are associated with this organization in this march, and took him to task for it, and basically calling him out for his attendance there, and calling on him to denounce any sort of homophobic comments, and also to sort of make clear his position. Some have even called for him to withdraw from the PC leadership race as a result of this.
So when this story broke on the weekend, he put up a statement on his Facebook page in which he pretty much defended this group and said that he believed in diversity of opinion, and he would stick up for minority rights and for religious rights, and that this group, he didn't share all their beliefs, but he, believed in supporting diversity.
Right.
It took him 5 days to come out of the ether and realize that participating in a hate rally was probably not a really great idea. So today, Sarah's making a face at me. It's a hate. I mean, if these people said these things about Jews or Muslims or Aboriginal Canadians, I don't think we'd have any hesitation in saying that these are hate mongers.
I think what they said was horrible. I agree.
Yeah, it's hateful. And what a thing to say on the 1-year anniversary of a flood that killed 5 people. I mean, really, are we supposed to think that Jesus struck down a young woman with cerebral palsy who died while rescuing her best friend in the flood? Are we supposed to think that Jesus struck down an 83-year-old widow who was a Salvation Army staffer and volunteer because of the Calgary Pride Parade? I mean, it is vile and hateful speech. And Ric McIver, for 4 years, has taken place in this march. He opened this march, and it took him 5 days to offer an apology today, which even then, when you read the apology, he clearly does not understand the enormity, the insult, not just to gay Albertans, but to anybody who lost family and livelihood and possessions in that flood.
So is this his lake of fire moment then? I mean, is this...
Well, that's the...
He's put himself on fire. I've written about this, thinking he's basically a non-entity now in this leadership campaign. I do have colleagues who have thought that maybe he'll get a bounce out of this because can sell memberships now to the fringe members.
Yeah, the people Danielle Smith kicked out of her party.
Yeah, the fringe. You don't win a leadership race. Sure, you can get wedge issues. You can target certain people, like Redford targeted teachers. You don't win by targeting fringe. Hate mongers is probably a good word. And the thing is, going back to what we've been talking about, at the very least, this brings into great relief the judgment. You got to question the judgment of Ric McIver, not only taking part in this, then tweeting about it, and then trying to apologize, but not really apologize, explain himself, then trying to apologize 5 days after the fact. This, to me, this guy has shown himself to be completely in over his depth. In over his head. This guy should not, I think, be a candidate in this race.
Wow, you'd go that far to say that you think he just shouldn't be running anymore.
I think he's taken himself out, basically, in effect, by doing this, by taking part in this parade, by defending this group, then apologizing so late after the fact. If he wants to stay in the race, that's fine, but to me, this guy is basically done.